While it is a couple days after Halloween, I did want to feature one more Halloween related video. I could have tried to squeeze it in my previous video, but I felt like it would have been too much. For me, my style is I like to talk about one book at a time, at most 3 books max per video. But that's just me. Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Ruth, and let's chat about the Halloween tree and the pumpkin princess and the forever night. Did you know that Ray Bradbury, who is the author of Halloween Tree, also wrote children's and young adult books? I didn't know that. I thought he only wrote 1984, which I thought was an amazing book. But now that he has all these other books, I'm very excited to catch up reading those books too. So Halloween Tree was published in 1972, and then the copyrighted illustrations was then added in 2015. Another fun fact is at the Disneyland, California, they exhibit the Halloween Tree too. So this fantasy novel is about a story that describes and tells the history of Halloween and Samhain. I totally hopefully pronounced that right this time. So Halloween Tree. Loved the illustrations of this book. It's a mix between colors and black and white. Each chapter, there's a different jack-o'-lantern, and I think it plays into the Halloween tree because the Halloween tree, I'll read it here, but the Halloween tree itself, with its many branches with jack-o'-lanterns, serves as a metaphor for the historical confluence of these traditions. So each of the chapters has a different jack-o'-lantern illustration. So I think that's just really cool when authors and illustrators take the time to really make each chapter different. Nothing wrong with using the same symbols or same illustrations for each chapter, but people do notice when there's different illustrations per chapter. So I like that detail that the author, publishers, illustrators provided in this book. And also, I don't know if it also has the meaning that ties to the Halloween tree, right? Because the Halloween tree has different jack-o'-lanterns. Does that also play into the different chapters? So I thought that was a good connection if that's what it was meant to be. Another thing I like about this book, it's written in 1972, so you will definitely notice the different writing style, the dialogue, some of the different vocabs that the kids use to talk to each other. So you can definitely tell the difference, but I don't think it's that drastic where it's not understandable, not relatable. I don't think that at all. I think it still is the test of time. Great. I also love the little adventures that the characters go through. So Pippin goes missing. So Tom and his friends goes through this adventure to find their friend Pippin. And along the way, they learn the history of Halloween. This book was categorized in juvenile fiction, time travel, space, and of course, Halloween was the big theme here. Another thing I like about this book is it's so thin, not much pages, but I felt like it was good enough action packed to get the point across. So great job. Next book here we're going to talk about is The Pumpkin Princess. This is the author's debut novel. I borrowed this from the library, but the way the book is made, not much bigger than my hand, but for me it just is a nice weight. I love the way it feels, and I just love it. It's a good size book here. Not too many pages either, but as you can see here, it has a black trim detail inside the book. It also kind of bleeds into the pages here, and then there's some chapters that also has some different drawings there as well. So again, I love that this book also takes the time to, each chapter draws out a different illustration. I mean, the book cover is also beautiful too. So the story is Eve. She is an orphan. and unfortunately, no one wants to adopt her until the Pumpkin King gave her a chance. That's right, Pumpkin King. He has a head for a pumpkin. This isn't any ordinary family that Eve was adopted into. She was adopted into an unliving family, unliving community. So vampires, witches, goblins, werewolves, and all that sorts. She is the only living person in this community. So you would imagine it's quite scary, but also brave of her to maybe continue on wanting to be a part of the Pumpkin King's family. So it isn't too scary of a book at all. No like blood and gore or any of that. It's appropriate for kids, very light-hearted, but there's still a deep meaning in this book as well. So the idea of belonging, the idea of being friends and finding common interests with people that may not look like you, living or unliving, so there's lots of like deep messages in here too. And just being friends with, again, those who don't look like you, right? So Eve is a living person, and she makes friends with a vampire and a witch who she calls her best friend. So I love the diversity in that friendship as well, because each person has a strength that plays into the little adventure that they go on. I love that Eve also really tries to make friends with people and just doesn't really judge the unliving, even though they judge her, right? Because she's the only living person there. So it also takes bravery to kind of be the odd person out in a group. I do love the message. Great story, both of them, Halloween Tree and this book here. Funny at times, and of course, because it's a children's book, the dialogue is not too deep, but it's still enjoyable. There's a surprise, so that's all I'm going to say, and I'm very excited. So my overall ratings for these two books, Halloween Tree, I would give a 3, and Pumpkin Princess would give me a 4 stars. Oh, I forgot to mention, I have these sticky notes here to kind of cover the barcode because I did borrow this from the library, so I didn't want you to see the barcode there. But I love this book. Like always, please let me know your thoughts. Did you like this book? Did you like this book? Who's your favorite character? Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Happy reading.